Hi, I'm India Williams. I'm the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Manager at Newport City Homes. In 2022, we released new organisational values which are active, collaborative, inclusive and trusted. So what does inclusive mean? Well, the act of being inclusive is about including people in any activity that you're doing, any planning, any change, regardless of their background, their abilities, circumstances, etc. It's about us removing barriers to ensure that everybody can access our services equally. So what's inclusive look like for our customers? Well, our customers, they come from all walks of life. They have different languages, ethnicities, religions. They speak in different accents. They like different food, dance, music. They've mastered different cuisines. They have different value and belief systems. For example, what they think is polite and what they think isn't polite. And all of these things, they make up somebody's culture, and their culture influences how they experience the service that we provide, particularly our customer service. So if we know that the way that somebody's background impacts the way that they experience our customer service, what can we do about it? Well, we can't know everything about everybody, and you can never understand things that you haven't personally experienced or gone away and learnt about, and that's absolutely okay. So what we really need to do is we need to start talking to our customers more, listening to their voices, sharing about their experiences and finding out how that impacts the way that they're experiencing our service at Newport City Homes. Over the past couple of months, our colleagues have been out in the community. We've been attending community events, we've been door knocking, we've been attending different schemes and talking to people about their culture, their backgrounds, and how that impacts the way that they live in our homes. We now want to share our learning with you, so I hope that you enjoy the following footage about what we've learned. And most importantly, we really hope you'll provide us with feedback on how you think we can improve our services and our customer service to make it more inclusive for all. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Intatomo Babu Karlati, Moli Long Lucky Bob, Newport City Home, ala baraka, alien natina bi jang purungana ngal falien na adon na tarapu kotol momenti. Allah baraka. Back home we don't have heaters. Yeah. It's heat already. Yeah. Now, when you came to this country, when I came to this country, I have that problem because I have to remember to pay my gas, I have to remember to pay my electric, I have to remember to put the, I don't even know how to put the gas heating on. So all those explain. Some people pick it quickly because of their understanding. Some people, it will take a time for them to understand what they're doing and how they do it.
Renting in the Gambia is different. I mean, from what I've seen, because I used to rented a bit when I was going to in high school, but like the bills, everything will be in the name of the landlord. And basically what we used to do as tenants, then you pay for everything and then the landlord will just sort out the bills. But also in some cases you have tenants who are responsible for paying their own water bills, their own electricity bills and things like that. And that seems to be, I think that is the majority. But now, what is kind of, the main practice now in rural Gambia is that people have these prepaid kind of things that you have to put money in before you can use it, and when you start, it stops. So that's where you see what you see basically in kind of most rural parts of the Gambia now. And on the other hand, if you come here, you have your names on there, and you sort out your own bills, you pay your own bills, and then that's how it goes. Like talking about the Gambia again, it's like, there isn't anything like credit reference and things like that. You kind of want to look at, people kind of failing to pay their bills and stuff, because here, I mean, in the Gambia, maybe you can't do away with that, because if you don't pay your bill, maybe your uncle will come and sort things out for you, you know. And same as even with food, with anything really. People of the Gambia are the most generous people you will ever find anywhere else in the world. You know, in the Gambia, that is, you know, I'm sure you know what wells are. Basically, people will, we just go to public wells and just draw water, and in those they don't really pay for that. As you probably know, Ramadan is, you know, during Ramadan is Muslims will fast during the day, so that is food or water. And if, like, personally, I don't get offended when I see people eating, I'm not, you know, I'm not connected to food that much, I think. Just kind of out of respect for someone or someone's religion, you know, and you are in their space, you know, you get to be mindful of things like that.
Like Gambians, we use too much water. In our sink, when you go there, you see we wash up a lot, so we use too much water. So with that, the corner on the wall, the kitchen side, the ceiling on the wall will be most of the time broken because the water that goes, we use too much water. Gambians like to wash up everything. So, but with the food splash everywhere, yes, it's fine. But I think if we sensitize, because like me, I never cook in that kind of kitchen before I moved to the UK. It's different from when you are cooking on a pot outside or in a open kitchen that have no side. It goes everywhere. It is fine, but our pots are different. We have a different pot, but here we have a different pot, an open pot. So if it's splash, it's going out, and it's going to go on something. So if we clean it after ourselves, that's fine. So I know the Newport City Homes are doing good jobs with those things.
Newport City Home is one of the best, if I could say, if not the best, but they're very good. Anytime you call them for repair and complaint, they'll deal with it. There was no single time you call them for a repair. You can call them for a repair for twice and they will still respond to those repairs. Now, considering what we have back home, it's absolutely completely different. I haven't seen anything like that from a council's point of view. I believe they cannot afford it. Because we are developing countries, so we cannot afford those type of housing system where you get all the help and you get your own house. But in Newport City Home, I personally, with all the experience, I think they're doing a fantastic job. Maybe it's like the reason why you people are doing now is to find out how other people live in this property, what their traditions are, what their culture are, to be able to help them. And I think that's the way forward. Because if you don't know somebody's culture, you go into their house and you find them playing, you call the police, you think they're fighting. And actually it's not a fight, because that's how they play, that's how they do their thing. You go to something like, for example, I had a time, I put my praying clothes on. A friend of mine came in and said, "Why are you wearing the pajamas for?" Because he didn't know. It doesn't mean to be rude, but he doesn't know what that meant. So I had to explain to him. And then one day, I stood at the bus stop with that, with African attire, and everyone keeps looking at me. I become a celebrity overnight, and people said, "That's a nice fancy dress." It wasn't a fancy dress. No, it wasn't a fancy dress. It was my traditional clothes. So things like this. So I have to say thank you so much to have India and yourself. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated.
So I'm Garda Yassin, and I've been living in Newport since 2003. I come from Sudan originally. There wasn't a community when I arrived in the UK. There were only about a handful of Sudanese in Newport at that time. So one of the things we did back in 2006-07, created the Newport Sudanese Association at that time. As you said, one of the important things, or the barriers really, is the language, is contacting the landlord, whatever it's Newport City Homes or other landlords, is just getting the point across on what the issue is and knowing their rights and what to do really, and where to go and who to contact. One of the things is about the issues they face is the mold, damp. We don't have damp or mold back in Sudan, so people won't know about this. Someone will, having that information, if they have that information, it'll be good. About condensation. Yeah. We cook a lot, lots of cooking, so it will create condensation, it will create damp and mold, but people won't know that this is a problem, it's the norm. And the other thing that women, Sudanese women do, and then back home, and some of them still do it here, but it's still the problem is the fire hazard. They got something like a sauna. So it's burning these sandalwood as well, and they cover themselves and do it because it gives a really good smell over the body. So it's still that they do it outside. Sometimes they leave the doors open, so they do it by the doors or whatever. So these are the things that they find it difficult within. It's not only Newport City Homes houses, but every house or flat really. I know that some people cover that the smoke alarm, but it is dangerous then doing it. But then understanding the culture, appointments as well. It's a cultural thing that if the wife or partner is on her own, if the appointment could be done while the husband or partner, the other half is with at the same time, not going in just suddenly. And one of the things as well.
In our community, you're always in the house. You're not using like to wear shoes. We're using when we come out. In my house, I go like 2 doors like this door.
Yeah.
I go the main door and then one like this one.
Like a porch.
We put out the porch like this one. We put the shoes all out.
Yes.
We're not getting now inside with the shoes because we use our living room, our rooms to pray and do everything. And some of them, when it's raining, especially in raining time, they come in the street, go in, repair. We're not asking them, but especially my wife, she's not happy, but she's not gonna say something, but she's not happy,
Yes.
So
having that understanding.
If someone come in and he has the shoes mat,
covering,
covering, he can put in and get in, and when he come out, he can take them off.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Robert Musa. I'm a tenant with Newport City Homes. I work for Newport City Council as a community connector for ethnic minorities. One of the things which I've managed to do well working with the Roma communities is when you offered food, just try to taste it, whether it's a cup of tea. And you find with most worksmen, professionals, even from Newport City Homes, if you just offer them snacks from your country of origin, they'll say, okay mate, I'm all right. But with these cultures, most cultures from ethnic minorities, they feel offended. So you're just supposed, even to pick something, they'll be happy. Just a small one, and say thank you.
Why do you think that people don't report things? Is there you said obviously it's a cultural difference, but why do you think people don't tend to report them?
I think it's the fear of unknown, and some of the fears, it's about you don't want maybe to have a bad reputation with the landlord, because it's where you coming from, the country of origin. As a tenant before, when you report for things, if they are falling apart, either the landlord makes you pay money. That means people, even they are scared to say, oh, if I said this one is broken, I'm going to get charged. Or the experiences, if you've seen the experience of ethnic minorities coming from private landlords, how they've been treated. So they cannot separate the two to say, I can report this thing now that say the boiler is not working. They try to fix it themselves, even causing more damage, because it's the experience which they have received from private landlords here in Wales, and at the same time the experience they are bringing from their country of origin, how they were treated by the landlords. On the meetings, I've seen Newport City Homes have tried to do the meetings with the residents, but what you find out it's still that generic old model of meeting with the residents Monday to Friday, either between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Whereas you find ethnic minorities, you might find they are more flexible in the evenings and over the weekends. And so Newport City Homes needs to be flexible, approachable to ethnic minorities. It's all about the times, the cultures. It's a Friday, it's time for the prayers. All to put those things in consideration.
Hi everyone, I'm Lynn Street, and I first want to say thank you very much for asking us. It's nice to be asked as vision impaired people. One of the first things to say, which is around the admin of your organisation, is around how important it might be to give us a chance to have our vision impairment recorded somewhere, so that we don't have to tell everyone we speak to that we have a vision impairment and what that might mean for us. So to be able to say, I have a vision impairment, I would prefer communication on email. If you need to send documents as attachments, I would prefer them in Word. Communication, asking us, is the best way forward. One size really doesn't fit all. So to say something like, I understand you have a vision impairment, just let me know if there's anything I need to remember while I'm here today. I understand you have a vision impairment, just let me know if there's anything I can do to make it easier. Is there anything I need to think about when I'm fitting this for you? It is very important, if you move something, tell us and put it back. If you switch lights on, switch them off, because someone may end up having a light on for several days if they don't actually know it's been switched on. Be prepared to provide things in a different way. Be prepared to explain things in a different way, to show us if needs be. Yes, sometimes, yeah, that's what it is really, just thinking outside the box and asking the right questions.
Oh, it's horrendous, because I couldn't get in and out the bath because of my physical disabilities. So it was literally strip wash every day. Oh, at least 3, if not 4 years that I haven't been able to have a proper bath or shower. I used to constantly say, if I smell, tell me, you know, that kind of thing. But it's like, oh, it's like bliss. Oh, it's so, and they did such a lovely job. I'm really thrilled. And I know it sounds stupid to some people because they've had that facility all their life. But when you haven't got it, you realise how much you need it, you know. And I can shower as many times a day as I want now.
My family, I got a really good family, and I have got a good family that really looks after me. But even so, you still need somewhere like this to come, you know. So I'll have a chat and keep up with things, you know. So, because you don't want to, you're old in your body, but you don't want to get old in your head, you know. So you don't want to be, and this sort of is people's lifeline. Really, it can be your lifeline.
I was shy because I was a shy person, very shy. So it's brought me out, coming and meet and socialise and talking to different ones. Don't be nervous, just come and join us.
You mentioned your knees.
Yeah.
Would you say that we should be mindful of people with conditions such as that when we're knocking the door?
Yes, yes. Yes, because it takes you a while to get to the door then, see? I mean, I got a reclining chair, and by the time I get out of the chair, to get to the door, you could be gone. You could be thinking I'm not there.
So I hope you've enjoyed listening to some of our customer stories that in their own words tells us really what they'd like us to know when they access our services. So I think as you've heard, our customers have got a broad range of diverse needs and preferences. And I hope these stories help you to understand how important it is we get to know our customers, we treat them as individuals, and we tailor the way we deliver our services to meet their needs. But watching and listening to these stories by itself, it just isn't enough. To make a real difference, we need you to take some action. We need you to think about what you can do differently, whether that's you as an individual colleague or as part of your wider team. So before you pick up the phone to a customer, before you go and visit a customer in their home, ask yourself, how can I make sure that I make this contact count? So have I checked CRM or my job ticket to see what customer data is held on our system? Does a customer or a member of their household have a particular vulnerability that we really need to respond to in the way that we deliver our services? This could be a specific medical condition, there could be a support need or a language barrier, and it's really important for us all to think, what can I do differently based on what I know about the specific needs of that household? And it's not just one person's role to do this, it's everybody's role across NCH to capture, record, update, refresh and use the information. And we need you all to take responsibility for this. Make sure that you make every contact count. So before you end a call or before you leave a customer's home, ask the customer, do you or any household member in your home have a particular vulnerability that we need to know about? And if the answer is yes, make a note, record it, bring it back to the association so we can update our systems, so we avoid our customers having to repeat themselves at every contact and tell us the same information. So thank you. Hope you've enjoyed the stories again, and please make sure you make every contact count.